Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of FPL Must-Haves. Today we're going to go over the 3 must-haves for Game Week 27, and we're going to start with a quick review of Game Week 26. So looking back, 39 points, big red arrow, almost 40,000 points places. That's pretty bad. I think on paper it really looked like a good team, but in comparison to maybe a team that if I didn't wildcard, that team would have got like 86 plus points. So that's considerably lower, but I guess we've built a wildcard team that's going to take us through for the remaining, I guess, 12 or so game weeks. So we can't really look at just one game week and call it a fail. But looking back at some of the picks that I had for last game week, it was March 1st, Toney 2nd, and Mitoma 3rd. And out of those, Toney and Mitoma both scored, I think, 13 and 8 and 13 respectively. So that's pretty good. I think that was a success. If you got them in, kudos to you. I got in Toney, but I didn't get in Mitoma, and I got in McAllister, who was on the bench, who scored 14. So that was a big L. I really hoped I could fit him in, but I guess the only possible way I could fit him in was maybe over Odegaard, or yeah, I guess Odegaard. There's no one else really that I'd want to remove. So it's kind of a tough call, but I guess we gotta deal with it. A lot of people, excluding myself, also had him on the bench, so it kind of evens out. But still, it's a big L for my rank. I've gone from 67k to 186k, and yeah, I'm hoping that this wildcard really boosts me, and the aggression in Game Week 27 will take me up. So yeah, let's look at the fixture analysis. So we have Arsenal is facing Fulham and Crystal Palace next. That's kind of someone who some team that's in form and has good fixtures. There's Brentford, who's gone, I think, one of the longest unbeaten runs in Premier League history, who's facing Everton and Southampton this week, and then Leicester in 28, and then Brighton and Man U in 29. So that's 5 fixtures in 3 game weeks. That's not very common in most FPL seasons, I guess, and they have a pretty good, I guess, 4 out of 5 fixtures which you might want to target. Crystal Palace have a double game week, but Man City and Brighton, and then Arsenal next week, so that's definitely not something that's favorable. 3 teams in very good form. We have Fulham, is blanking in 28. There's Leicester, who's facing Chelsea, and then Brentford, and then they have a double game week in 29. That's Crystal Palace and Villa. So I think Leicester's some team that has okayish fixtures after Chelsea, because Chelsea's kind of getting back into form. So maybe something to look at from 28. In terms of Liverpool, City, they both, and Man U, all 3 of them blank in 28. So might not want to get them instantly unless you have some other plans of like free hitting, or you have some people on the bench who can cover for you in 28. Because some of them have good fixtures in 29. Like Liverpool have City away and Chelsea away, which may not be the best, but if you take like maybe a star player like Salah, that might be good. And Man U have Newcastle and Brentford. That's not too bad, especially given Man U's recent form, excluding their last one match, I guess. And then we have Newcastle is facing Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Man U, West Ham. So 4 fixtures in 3 game weeks. I think that's not too bad, especially the next 2 are pretty decent fixtures, especially in terms of a defensive point of view. So you might want to stock up on their defensive assets. And I guess Tottenham's one more I want to talk about. They have Nottingham Forest and Southampton, so pretty good fixtures. And then Everton, after that, then Brighton's a okay fixture in 30, and then 31's Bournemouth. So Tottenham, maybe someone like Harry Kane might be someone who's consistent, and might be giving you good returns. I can't really think of anyone else. Maybe someone nailed on in defense, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get right into breaking down which teams we want to try and target, which teams have the highest goals and assists in the next section. So this should be a quick section. I don't want to waste too much time. In terms of the teams ordered by highest goals assist, we have goals against. We have Fulham first, Bournemouth second, Everton third, Nottingham Forest fourth. That's pretty a good indication of who we might want to get. We have other teams, I guess. There's Liverpool there. That's a big team. Leicester maybe, but those 4 teams might be kind of expected and kind of who we want to target. So we might look at someone like some striker from Brentford, maybe Toney, Buemo. They're facing Everton this week, and they're facing Southampton, who's kind of at the bottom of this list. Then there's Liverpool, who's facing Bournemouth, so maybe someone from Liverpool. Any assets, I guess, whether it's a fullback or a midfielder who kind of plays on the wings, or maybe a forward. So some pretty good fixtures, I guess, because not many big teams are facing big teams this week. It's more so the big teams have a good fixture, so definitely something to consider going forward, because in this series we want to try and target the statistics, and what that tells us right now is that teams like Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton are conceding a lot of chances and a lot of expected goals, even if they're not exactly the same as goals conceded. Like someone like Liverpool has much more XGA than the goals against, but that doesn't mean that they're just really good and people just keep missing. People might just start converting those chances. So this is really a good a better factor to consider, I guess, than the goals against. And let's go right into our first pick for today. So the number one pick for Game Week 27 is Ivan Toney. He was also there in Game Week 26 and he really did return an 8-pointer. That's pretty good. And I've taken the stats from the last 4 games, so I guess Game Week 22, and he's had 4 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist, at XG of 2.54, XA of 0.88, and his price is only 7.7, which is pretty good, I guess, and not too expensive compared to some of the premiums. And he has 2 fixtures, both against teams that have kind of conceded a good amount of goals in this season, and especially in the last few weeks. So someone like Everton, they got smashed 4-0 by Arsenal, and if you think the forward, the number one striker, the talisman in Brentford, who takes penalties and never misses, it is Ivan Toney, and you definitely want him in. I think a lot of people will be captaining him. I personally am captaining him, and I think it'll be a majority. It wouldn't be a division like last time between Salah and Saka. I think it's going to be clear Ivan Toney captaincy. He's definitely someone who's expected to get a lot of points. He does have like 8 yellow cards, so if he gets some yellow cards, maybe in the 2 more, he might miss, I think, 2 games. He gets a 2-game ban, but that's something to look forward to in the future. For now, he has 2 games this week. I think he's going to play both unless he gets a red card or something. That's usually what you don't plan for, but I think he's definitely has good numbers, giving 3 returns in 4 games, and someone who's on pens in a team that's scoring so well, unbeaten, playing beautiful football. I think they could have even scored more against Fulham. Even though it ended 3-2, it could have been like 4-1 or 5-1. Definitely had great chances. He had 2 or 3 more shots that were kind of goal threatening, so definitely racking up his XG, and I expect him to get like a 15-pointer in Game Week 27. So get him in, don't think twice. You have to make space for him in your forwards. My number 2 pick for Game Week 27 is Mo Salah. He's been exceptional in the last few game weeks. Since Game Week 22, he's had 6 games, an astounding 4 goals and 3 assists. Yeah, that's right, he's back. He's definitely performing, and I know they had a 7-0 smashing of Manchester United, so it's kind of he did get like a pretty good 2 goals, 2 assists, I think, if I'm not wrong there. So that's kind of heavily in one match, but that just shows how lethal they are. If a side like Man U, who haven't been conceding against other teams, can concede 7 to a team where this man is the talisman and he's the pen taker, he's definitely someone you want to have against Bournemouth. I wish I could get him in my team, but I'm not sure if I'm still going to be able to do that. Still got to figure that out. But he's blanking in 28, so that's why he's not first on this list. But otherwise, a fixture against Bournemouth, the team that's been always in the bottom 3 of goals against, I think he's definitely going to score some good points. He has a very high ceiling. I can't say that, oh, he'll score max of 10, 15. He could score 20, 25. I don't know. Probably not, because you can't just expect someone to score 21 because they scored 21 already. But I think he's definitely someone you can have for a high upside, and compared to maybe some other players like defensive assets who may just get 6 points, it's not worth for just 1 game week, and when knowing that they're going to blank the next. But I think he's pretty good. He has a double game week in 29, so better than someone like Haaland, who only has a single game week. So it might be wise to shift your funds from Haaland to Salah if you want. But yeah, definitely a good XG 2.9, XA of 1.78, and he is priced a bit expensive, and his ownership is not that high. I think it's going to even reduce more, since people might be knowing that he's blanking soon, but maybe not this week. but definitely someone to consider. He's got really good returns, 7 returns in 6 games. He could definitely add like 3 more in the next game, and could be a very good differential if you are trying to up your rank and have had a big fall like I did in the last week. My third and final pick for Game Week 27 is Harry Kane, and this is really the first time I think he's appearing on my series, so definitely someone to talk a lot about. He's been Mr. Consistent this season. I think apart from Haaland, he's been shadowed a little by Haaland since he's in the same section and same kind of price range, but he's been performing exceptional. I had him for almost half the season, and he really provided such consistent returns. It helped me up my rank into the top 100k or whatever. So definitely someone to consider. Lately he's had 2 goals, 1 assist in the last 5 games since Game Week 22. 2.45 xg, so I guess he's outperforming his goals, and 0.67 of XA. A little high priced, and a lot of people have him, but he has a really good fixture against Nottingham Forest. We saw in the slide earlier that he had Nottingham Forest was 4th in, I guess, the expected goals against, so definitely someone who you want against a team that is ranked 4th there. He's on pens, he's nailed to play 90 minutes, he's the front man. In anything that comes into the D, he's the one to attack it, and he's always there at the back post, I guess, somehow in every corner, to just tap in open goal. So he's always been consistent. He has a lot of goals. I think he's probably the 2nd highest scoring player in the game, if I'm not wrong, but I may be wrong. You can check me on that, but he's been consistent. He has doesn't have any blanks. That's a big thing. That's why he's on this list. He's facing Nottingham Forest and then Southampton next, I guess, and then he has like Everton or whatever, and Bournemouth in like the second, like 30, 33 or 32. So definitely good fixtures. Someone who's nailed on, gonna play 90 minutes every time. You're never gonna have to worry about subbing him. He's always gonna play, and if he doesn't have a double, his single game weeks are pretty solid. And you when you need players next week, he's gonna be there when you have a big blank game week. So definitely someone who's a good differential. He's still not owned like 50% or something, so still a bit better, not as differential as some of the other Brighton midfielders, I guess, last week especially, but still pretty good. There's a lot of good forwards, I guess, in my opinion, like Watkins, Holland, Toney, and some people might not have him, so you may still be catching up on them in terms of points earned from him. So definitely keep him in mind, get him in if you can, especially if you're wildcarding. He has to be there. That's non-negotiable in my opinion. And even if you're having you have a transfer to make and you need a forward, you have the money, go get him. On to the last section of this series, the watch list. I'm going to go over a few players that I'm trying to look into bringing in the next few game weeks. Starting with Martinelli, my fellow Arsenal mate. He has been exceptional in the last 4 game weeks. I think returning in all of them but the Bournemouth game. He has been phenomenal, getting his place back and ensuring he starts every single game. And even when he came on from the bench, he scored. A lot of people, I think, had him before. Almost everyone who plays transferred him out recently in the last 3, 4, 5 game weeks. But he's shown that he is crucial to this team's success, and especially because Trossard's picked up a small injury, Jesus is not back, and Nketiah has picked up an injury. He's definitely the most trusted striker, I guess, for right now, since he could play strike or left wing. So I think he's definitely going to start. He's going to start Europa, he's going to start Premier League, whatever he has to, as long as he's fit and is not suspended or something. So he's someone I'm trying to think about how to bring him in. Maybe I'm going to remove Odegaard for a double game week in 29, and then later I'll bring in Martinelli for that guy. But that's a bit far-fetched. That's why he's not in the, I guess, the must-haves. He's not a must-have right now, but he's on the watch list for future. Trippier is one who has been exceptional in defense. He might even break Robertson's all-time defender scoring FPL record. So definitely someone to consider. He's always a bonus points machine, and right now he was not. A lot of people removed him or maybe didn't play him because he had like a blank and then City. But that is beyond him. Now he has good fixtures, Wolves and some other ones, and then he has a double game week in 29. He might have a double game week in 31 if the Brighton game's pushed that week. he might have one in 34 or something. So he has a lot of good double, like the bad phase is gone basically. You want the best defender in the game this season, you gotta get him in. You have to get him in. It may not be a priority, but you have to keep him on your watch list if you had removed him at any point. The third one and final one is Ollie Watkins. He is, I think, gonna be my first transfer in Game Week 28 because he has a good fixture. Then he has Bournemouth, I think, and then 29 he has a double, and I think a pretty good double. So he's someone who's been scoring very consistently. Before 26, I think he had 5 goals in 5 games. Definitely someone you want to have in your team to give you those consistent returns in a team that's improved so much under Emery. And you want to have him in. Maybe if you're getting rid of someone like Toney who gets a ban because of yellow cards, or Kane who doesn't perform because Spurs are not playing well anymore, or Haaland because he blanks, whatever your reason is. But he's someone who's on the watch list, and I think he's going to be in next week's video, so watch out for him. Alright, that's it. That wraps it up for today. Thanks a lot for listening. Tune in, ensure you're on this series for if you want to climb up the ranks every single game week. I promise to come back soon, come back and make a comeback for my team in 27 with my wildcard. Hopefully that works out. But for now, subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment on any suggestions you have or anything that you liked in this video, and see you soon.